Welcome back to the Iron Insight. Thank you for starting your week off right with the Iron Insight every Monday morning at 4 a.m. I'm Bryn Welds,
And I am the co-host, Andrew Nichols.
and today we're joined with Peyton Sweet, Mr. SweetsFabrication. How's it going?
Going pretty good. How are y'all?
Oh, we're doing all right.
Doing good. Just ate a sandwich
I
in between recording
Awesome.
episodes.
There you go.
So when did you start your welding business?
Um, I went to welding school. Let me see, I wrote it down in June of 2021. So I started welding school and I went to Tulsa down in Houston. So I went to that school and then while I was in school, that's when I started my business. I was doing like little stuff here and there, charging like no money at all. But I got into it and I was doing it. And it was fun, but didn't make any money doing it back then.
Mm. Did so you went straight to owning your own business instead of working for somebody else?
Basically, so like when you go to that school, they set you have like 4 days in the classroom, and the first thing they do is they you go around a circle and they ask everybody, well, what do you want to do? Like, what do you want to do with this? And you hear all these people that are, I want to go to the pipeline, I want to be an underwater welder, and then they come to me and I'm like, I want to own my own business. I was like, that's what I'm here for. So as soon as like in that first week, they kind of just let us loose. They're like, go weld, go try it out. And then after that, like once I went to Harbor Freight and bought a little machine, and then I started making Facebook listings, and I had people call me, and I would just go from there. But yeah, it was pretty crazy.
think it's funny how no matter where you go, everybody that went to school, they always hear that. Like, what do you want to do? Well, I want to go to the pipeline. Well, I want
Exactly.
underwater well. That's where the most money's at. It's funny how
Oh yeah,
stereotypical it is.
and I
And
never
once you
had an
graduate,
interest
you
in it.
realize you don't want to travel. You don't want to be away from home. Like that's for a select breed of
Exactly.
folk.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
never really a thing for me. I saw it, and it's just I like staying home. I like being around my family and stuff.
I agree
Right.
with you.
So you did a career day the other day was it a middle school?
Yes, it's an elementary
How
school.
was that? Oh,
It was it was
how
it
was
was
that?
awesome. Like going into it, I was pretty scared because like I do love the teaching aspect of it and like helping people out that don't know a lot about it, but it's difficult because you're talking to like my groups for second grade through fifth grade. So trying, and I'm very like technical with it, but my fiance, so she's worked with kids before, and I kind of talked to her about it, and I needed her to like not necessarily dumb it down, but get it to a point where I can get these kids to understand. But I went in there, dude, these kids so smart. Like I ain't
Really?
never seen anything like it. They're so smart. I mean, the questions that they were asking me, it was insane. Like they knew
Hmm.
everything, and I went through a presentation. Like they were so involved with it, and then like I brought all my welding gear and everything, and the kids they just loved trying it on. They loved seeing the art. Like their eyes just lit up when they saw it. So it was a really awesome opportunity for sure.
Yeah, is that I mean, how do you take to public speaking? Are you pretty good at it?
Never done it in my life. That was the first time,
Oh,
and I was scared. The first one we went up. So I had a guy that was it was two people. You had two careers in one room, and you basically have 10 minutes each. Well, he was going over entrepreneurship, like as a whole. So he would go over entrepreneurship, and it was boring for the kids. Like it's just talking, and then
Yeah.
they'd come to me, and they're like, "Well, this is a specific region of entrepreneurship, and we'll let him show you." And that's when I come out with the art and this and that. And I do a lot of work for Raising Canes here, like through from Georgetown all the way to San Antonio. So I'm like telling them like, does anybody like canes? Who enjoys canes? And they all raise their hand and go crazy. I'm like, well, if you go to this one in Georgetown, you can see some of the work that I've done. So it was just kind of like you got to be super interactive, like very, um, how do you say it? Like upbeat. You've got to entertain them.
Absolutely. I've seen plenty of those guys going or welders going into high school and talking to high school kids and whatnot. But to go into a class as young as that is probably one of the coolest ones I've seen.
Oh yeah, and the
Maybe
crazy thing
smile
about it
because
too
yeah,
was so I'd go in there and I wasn't expecting like any of these kids to know what this was, dude. First question I asked, anybody know what welding is? They knew exactly what it was. They all knew what it was in second grade. Like I had no clue. And then you have the kids that raise their hand. My dad's a welder, and I had no, like there was like a handful of kids. Their dads are welders doing it. and it was
You're
really,
in
really cool to
Texas,
see.
bro.
Yeah, you are in
I
Texas,
know,
I guess.
I know, but I was not expecting it at all.
Hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten to speak at a lot of events for the high school and the Nebraska apprenticeship program, and like I don't know, it seems like every event you speak at, you meet somebody that wants you to speak at another event. So like when
Exactly.
me and Andrew gave out 80 welding hoods to my high school, and when I announced that it was like a celebration for the 5th year that they've offered like welding, and they call it academies, pretty much like a trade high school. And so I announced that, and that's actually where I met my current boss when I was working for another shop. The
Really?
owners of this shop were there too. Yeah, so that's where I introduced myself when I walked into the interview. I was like, "Yeah, I'm Brent," and they were like, "Yeah, we know, we heard you speak," and
Oh
stuff like
wow,
that. So that's
that's
kind of like
awesome.
a mass networking opportunity that you
Oh,
get just
100%.
because. Uh,
Like going into it, I didn't know what was going to come of it at all, but I went in and I'm like the teacher, because I was in a room with a teacher and she goes, "Hey, my husband owns a construction company. He needs a welder. Do you have a card?" I was like, "Here you go. Take it. Here's that one."
huh.
And then there's the other guy that he was doing the entrepreneurship. He's like, "I have a broken fence at my house. Do you think you can come fix it?" So it's this and that. And then you go to like the counselor and she's like, "I'm going to recommend you to the other schools in the area so you can go speak." So after doing it, after that first time, I mean, I was all in. I was like, "Dude, this is awesome." Like I love doing it and speaking. So hopefully we can do more of those soon for sure.
Yeah, dude, it's so cool being able to share your career and passion with people that don't know much about it. Like,
Oh yeah.
there's nothing better, especially your opportunity with kids that can come up and do this, or maybe just realize that. Honestly, like, what if somebody called you 10 years from now and were like, "Hey, I'm a welder now," just because you came and spoke at that?
Dude,
Like, yet,
I mean,
That'd
that
be
like,
would just
crazy.
like, that would make me feel so like so good. Like I did something like because that's my thing is like, I love welding and I love teaching it, but more than that, it's just like I want to spark creativity in somebody. It's not like when I go to speak, I don't go like, "Oh, you can go weld ships, you can go do this and that," and I'm like, "No, you can do art. Like you can." That's what I wanted to be when I was a kid, was an artist, and I am one now. Not like on with pen and paper, no, but I am an artist. So I want to spark that in them, to show their creativity in many different ways.
right? Like yesterday, so I'm not wearing the hat, but I have a hat that says Davis Welding, Coldwater, Kansas, and it's tan bill, gray hat, and then a gold rope across. And my buddy gave it to me when I was like maybe 13, 14. We were going through his grandpa's just storage in the garage, and we found this full of hats. I'm like, "Man, I love hats. Let me get this one, this welding one. My dad's a welder." And so I took that hat, and I'm like, I've worn it almost every day ever since. It's my go to hat. It's beat up. There's sweat stains. There's cuts on the brim and shit. And yesterday, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna call this shop because I saw that they were still open. So I called him, left him a message. He called me like 6 hours later, was when I was waiting for my tires, and he's like, "Yeah, I made those hats in '80, maybe '89, somewhere around there." And I was like, "Dude, this hat was
Oh
brand new
man,
when I got it." Like now, I feel bad for trashing it because he's like, "I don't even have one of them anymore." And yeah,
crazy.
he was saying he's welded for 56 years, and just
Oh
something like
wow.
that. It would be kind of insane
Oh yeah,
to have somebody call you
definitely.
back like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. What I really
Uh,
wanted to do while I was at that school too is I wish I could have gave something to the kids, because I feel like that's what they don't hold on to the words you say, they hold on to the mental picture. Because if you think about it, like when you were in school, they had the firefighters come and it was like you
right.
putting on the suit. That's what you remembered, is putting on the gear. So that's I couldn't bring them anything to give to them, but that's what I did with the welding gear. I let them put all of it on so they have that mental picture and can always remember that.
Absolutely.
Nah, dude. When the firefighters came to my school, I was terrified. I was a freaking kindergartner. This guy looks like a monster.
Oh yeah.
But um, yeah, I don't know. That's a good idea. Have them try it on. I got lucky because I just got an idea. I was like, "Andrew, can you make 80 hoods at a discounted rate?" And I was like, "And I'm not paying for it." I made my previous company. They paid for it. We put their logo, my logo, and Andrew's logo on it. So now we got 80 students. Just
Dude, that's awesome
running.
though. That's really cool.
Rocking them. Oh yeah, so that was a really cool collab there. I mean, we got to give these kids some nice hoods because they weren't using real great hoods before. So hopefully these were a little bit of an upgrade.
They were.
Dude, when I was at Tulsa, I mean, we got junk hoods. They just gave us. They were so
just
bad.
dog hoods. Yep.
Yeah, these kids run a Miller fixed shade. I don't know how much. It's probably like $20 or something.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
That's what we were using.
What is?
I remember.
What's that?
No, go ahead. You're good.
What's your favorite project you've ever had the pleasure of working on?
Favorite project? I really like the Canes, like working with Canes because it's a bigger company. So like when you bring up, oh, I work with Canes, like it really it brings attention to people, and they like to hear that. But what I've kind of stepped out because I was doing a lot of small stuff like repairs here and there, but I've been wanting to go bigger, like as of recent. Because I haven't been doing this too long. I think I've had my company, like I started it in welding school a long time ago, but full time, like that's all I do is my company, was probably a little over a year ago. But I wanted to like up my scale, so I started doing like carports and things like that, and I love doing those because they look so good when you finish them. So yeah, I guess kind of just like
Carports would
going
be fun.
bigger.
Yeah.
They're fun, but not when it's 110 degrees outside.
You knocked out two of the questions I got written down here
Oh,
about the carports
my
and
bad.
the Canes. So, no. So actually, let's get into it. So, how'd you get that job with the Canes, with the Raising Canes? Because you started
Dude.
off with that like handrail by the door, right?
Yeah, that was the first one I ever did. So what was crazy is I'll kind of start from I was working at a boat dock company, and I was doing that for a little bit. And my whole goal working here was to just save up money so I could break out on my own. That was my end goal. Well, me and the boss of the place, we kind of got into it one day, and he's like, "You're done. Get out." And I was like, "Dude, all right, whatever." So I packed all my stuff. My the Everlast Cyclone 200 came in that day. It came in the mail that day, and I was like, "Dude, you know what?" I was like, "I'm not gonna waste my time looking for another job." I was like, "I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it and give it my all." And then I got that call from Canes that day. So it's a guy that he's like I guess you could say maintenance and repairs. So he called me and he's like, "Hey, I need this gate fixed. The car hit it." And we did that. And I mean, ever since then, like I haven't done one of those entryway gates again. That was the only one I ever did, but I do a ton of the trash can or like the trash bin doors. I do a bunch of those. And that's mainly like a lot of what he does is just those doors.
Huh.
And it's a pain to fix, dude, because I can't go there during the day because it's the people going in and out. So I have to go there at nighttime. And it's just, dude, I kind of do it on like Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, doing that stuff. So it's just the drunk crowd coming through, and it just sucks. And I do a bunch of them in downtown Austin. So with him, I kind of usually he always calls me like towards the end of the week, and he wants it done like immediately. So I'm always having to do it like that. And I go there at nighttime, and it's in downtown Austin. Like I'm literally right by 6th Street. And these people it's just constant traffic. Like I'm worried about my stuff getting hit, and it's just a pain to do, but I enjoy it. It's fun. And especially now, cause I've done so many of them, it's nothing for me. Like I can get it done super quick. But like, I know the problem before he even calls me because it's just the same thing every time. But yeah.
Close to Austin, Austin's a big comedy scene now. You ever go down there?
Dude, I want to so bad. I've gone to a few comedy shows, but I've seen some guys that are coming into Austin, and I want to go so bad, but I just never have the time to do it. Never have the time. What I have gotten into, though, dude, we went to a hockey game for my birthday, the Texas Stars. That was fun. I think
fun.
like hockey.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, hockey is like one of my most favorite. I don't watch sports at all, but hockey, I can watch that. That's fun.
Yeah, Kill Tony's in Austin at the Comedy Mothership. I don't know if you know what Kill Tony is, but it's a live podcast.
Dude, I've seen it.
Oh yeah, it's.
It's really in Austin. I
Yeah,
had no
it's
idea.
the comedy mothership, Joe Rogan's comedy show or comedy club.
Huh. Let me go check that
Yeah,
out.
they're always talking about Sixth Street. Like they say it's a wild street.
Dude, I don't go.
Six. Oh, really?
I've been one time. And that's enough. I don't know, dude. I went to college in College Station, and I mean, I had my partying fun, and now I don't really care for it anymore.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's definitely an experience. If you ever come down here, you should definitely check it out.
And let's get into those carports. So I've seen you've been doing that recently. Is that like, do you custom fab everything, or is that like a kit that you buy or they buy or
I
something?
do
that
everything.
You weld up. Oh, you do everything.
I do everything. I get the raw material, cut it up, and then however they want it, basically. I mean, they tell me, and that's the thing is there's a lot of guys around here. I mean, you're going to have competition everywhere you go, regardless. But where I try to stand out is I use the highest quality of material I can. Like I'm not out here building carports out of purlins and pipe. Like it's all 4x4, super thick. Like, and I use 2x4s for everything else. Like it's not 2x4s, but
Yeah.
2x4s red tubing. Yeah. So it's super solid, super nice, and I kind of with the material I'm using and the price that I come in at, it's pretty hard to beat.
So when you go about building these and they contract you or whatnot, is there any sort of code work you got to watch out for? Building inspection, having an inspector come out, anything like that?
So the way you go about this is whether you're in city limits or not. If you're in the city limits, I usually don't touch it just because it's a rabbit hole trying to get permits and everything to do that. So I kind of stay away from it. And I'm lucky enough, like where I live, there's a majority of the people wanting this stuff have their own land and they're out of the city limits. So when you're out of the city limits, you have nothing to worry about. You can do whatever you want. So it's super easy to do it that way.
They look like probably the most sturdy carport I've seen in my life.
Oh, dude, they're solid. They're definitely solid.
I don't know if I've seen them yet. I'm gonna have to go look at them right now. I don't know if I've seen these yet.
Yeah, if you wanna, you can go look on my on Instagram. It should be there.
So, with the roses, do the pre-built or do the kits or the pre-built roses sell better?
So last year it was the pre-built. I mean, I ended up hiring somebody because I couldn't do it myself. I had so many coming in. I hired some kid in high school to come over to my house, and I mean, dude, he put together. He built 48 of those in one day. Insane, like an insane amount in one day. And they were selling like crazy because the video that I had posted at the time had like 500,000 views, but my audience was not your 18 through 24 male. It was your 18 through 24 female. I was getting a ton of female viewers. So they were buying, a lot of them, they didn't weld. So they bought the pre-built set, and that's what a ton of those sold for. But this year it was a lot of pre-built or the kits. The kits sold a ton this year.
That's good. That keeps it easy for you.
Yeah, the kits are nice because I like doing the roses, but when you get through like middle way of the season of them selling and you're just constantly building the same thing over and over again, it gets so repetitive. That's what I can't like. My biggest thing is repetitiveness. Like I hate building the same thing over and over again. Like I worked in a big production facility, couldn't do it. It was not for me. I just couldn't do the same thing over and over again.
The mass fab is not fun, that's for sure.
Yeah. What'd y'all build there?
Dude, it was, I mean, what didn't they build there? It was in Buda. It's called Escobedo Group. Dude, I mean, they called them casitas. It's basically a pre-manufactured home that goes together in puzzle pieces. But it's not like pre-manufactured home like as in a trailer. I'm talking like millions and millions and millions of dollars. Like these are like very, very, very just I can't, dude, it was weird. I never saw one put together. I was just told what they were. But these guys, I mean, this company, they went all the way to France to like deconstruct this like I don't even know what it was. Just crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Like stuff that I would it's no like if you were working with them, it's millions and billions of dollars. That's it.
Yeah.
Crazy amount of money.
So let's take it back. What position in football did you play for the Bulldogs?
Oh my God, dude. Oh man, I was a tight end. I was a tight
You
end.
got a tight end build.
I was the only tight end that never got a pass thrown to him because he couldn't catch a ball.
Oh man.
Yep.
Is there any significance behind the number 29?
No, so that number, my number was number 8 because so my dad played football and he went to college, played football, and he was number 8. So that's what I stuck with. But that came to a point where it's like they didn't let you pick your number, so they ended up just giving me the 29. But the only significance, like when I played football, was I was 6 foot tall in 8th grade, and everybody around me was so small. So regardless, I was just the biggest and best player because of my size, and that's basically all they used me for. I grew so fast, I was so uncoordinated. Like I couldn't catch, I couldn't do anything. They just used me for my sheer size at that point. That's all it was.
So you got that decked system in your work truck bed.
Oh yeah.
Do you love that? Like did they hook you up with that?
Yeah. So I work with them. I make videos for them. So before I had it, I thought it was cool, and it's like, yeah, that'd be nice. Well, I eventually got one, used it for a couple months, and then I took it out because they were coming out with the new one, and I was going to get one of those. They were going to upgrade me and ship me the new one, so I took it out. For a couple months, I didn't have one at all. I did not realize how important they were, like at all. I did not realize how much I needed it until I didn't have it, and now it's like I don't think I'll ever own another truck without it. Like it is an awesome tool to have, and especially like if you have so like with me, like I have a ram box bed, so I don't have like wheel wells in the bed. It's just flat sides, and it's a short bed, so you can really only use the deck drawer system. But if you have a bigger truck, like you get the sliding top, I want that so bad because for me it's just super hard to like reach around. I wish I could pull the whole thing out. And then also their toolbox too. The toolbox also, because it has that fold out. I'm pretty sure there's a fold out ladder to like climb up into your toolbox. So that one's really cool.
One thing I noticed about what you keep in there, you're a big DeWalt guy, eh?
Oh, dude, nothing else.
Nothing else.
DeWalt everything till I die, dude.
What's the reasoning?
Well, so when I started welding school and like my own business, I had no tools whatsoever. And Christmas was coming up. My fiance bought me my first set of my own tools, and it was the DeWalt. Like I think it came with like 12 different tools in it, and that kind of. But she asked me, she's like, "You want Milwaukee or you want DeWalt?" And I was like, "Dude," I was like, "I don't want to be a Milwaukee fanboy, you know? Like everybody just buys Milwaukee because everybody else has." I was like, "I want to be a DeWalt guy." Because that's the thing is my dad had DeWalt tools too, and I was like, "Dude, I'm a DeWalt guy."
My dad's a DeWalt guy too, through and through.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. If you're a real guy, you got DeWalt tools. Oh yeah. Have you seen the flathead grinder? Have you heard anything about
Yes.
it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, I bought one. I actually have 2 of them now. Insane. Like, it's a total game changer. Like, I love using it.
I saw a video of it and I was like, this is impressive. And I sent it to our purchasing manager and he was like, it's way too fucking expensive. Like in your dreams.
Oh, they're so expensive. So expensive. That's the only, I wish they weren't that expensive, but dude, know what happened? So I bought I found one on eBay that was like $200, like stupid cheap, right? And I get it in. It's not a regular arbor size. It's a mini, like super tiny arbor size, and they hid it in the picture, so you couldn't see the arbor. So I get it in. I'm like, dude, what am I going to do with this? I'm like, they don't sell these in the U.S. They didn't sell that size. So forever and ever, I was like trying to contact the company and get a return and everything. It was awful. But we finally got a refund on it. Thank God. I should have just quit being cheap and bought the real one off the rip.
How much is a brand new one?
I think 340, 350.
Damn.
Yeah, they're steep.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah,
Definitely steep.
Especially like No wonder my purchasing manager did buy them, because he would have had to buy like 80 for everybody.
Exactly. I have that, and then I think my two favorites I just purchased was the flathead grinder, and I got the deep cut bandsaw. Love the bandsaw.
Bandsaw is game changer. There is nothing better than a hand bandsaw. I'm telling you. I got the plug-in and I got a battery powered, and I use them both.
I just can't find who do you use for blades? Where do you buy your blades?
Oh gosh, it was. I'm gonna think of it in a little bit.
Because I use the Milwaukee blades.
Yeah, I've never had good luck with them. Yeah, I have not had good luck with those. They're not Diablos. I could find them and I will send them to you on Instagram. Because there's a certain brand that works real good for us. But speaking of off-brand and different brand stuff, what made you go with the Hobart engine-driven welder? No hate, we all use what we use, but what made you go with that?
Because it's a Miller with a white paint job. That's why.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Basically,
I 100% agree. But you got the purists out there that if it ain't blue, it ain't right. If it ain't red, it ain't right.
No,
or if it ain't SA200, you don't know shit.
I'm here to argue against that, because I'm all about when I was getting into it, I didn't have a ton of resources. I didn't have a ton of people to help me. So that's what I want to do. If anybody texts me on Instagram, I always answer them back. Like if they need advice, right, I'm there for it, because I didn't have that. And a lot of the stuff I do is I just try to show them you don't have to spend that money. Dude, I run my business out of a 1500 Ram. I don't have a big truck. And I have that little Hobart. I have a Hobart machine. And I honestly, what I want to do is I want to downgrade, because I have the big engine drive. I want to go down to the Hobart 145 so I can roll the machine around, because I don't need that big machine for what I do. You can build carports and fences with that small machine. But I love them, dude.
Question about the deck. Does it lock?
Yes. So they sell. It sucks though, because it doesn't come with locks. You have to buy the locks separately, but they do lock. And you can yank on them and they won't come open. But you really don't need them. If you got a locking tailgate, it's fine. You can't get in there.
Gotcha. Linux is the blade company I use for my bandsaw.
Okay.
Blades. I'll send them to you, but they've always given me really good luck, and I've you cut stuff, you're cutting small, round stock, and it slips and it rolls, and the blades seem to hold up very well for what they go through.
Oh yeah, because I'm knocking teeth off those Milwaukee blades constantly.
Yep.
It's like $50 a box too for 2 blades.
Yeah, it's hard to justify breaking blades as easy as you do with those.
I wonder if Pearl sells them.
I don't know. Does Pearl sell?
I've tried to look online.
Blades?
I've tried to look, and I haven't found one of the an abrasive company that sells them. That's what I prefer to go with, is one of those guys, but I haven't even been able to find one.
Pearl, they got a ton of certain categories. Andrew, we see them at FabTech, and we're like, damn, this might be a big abrasive company, because they got a nice booth. But welding and fabrication is one of their smallest divisions. They're big in stonemasonry and tiling and stuff like that too.
Really?
So they might have some bandsaw blades. But Mr. Sweet, how old are you?
23.
23. 1 year older than me. When's your birthday?
February 27th.
Nice. There you go.
I was just wondering. Sure. I thought you were older, but you look young. So I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, everybody. I could have sworn he was right around me.
Everybody I talk to always says that I'm older than I am.
Yeah, actually, same. I'm 19, but people say I look old.
Dude, you got a lot of knowledge, though. That's the thing.
I think the reason they say I look old is because I got this freaking dent in my head. You can't really see it too well. But, dude, when I first started, my first welding job, and I got my Miller T94, before that, I had that $20 hood that the students had, because I was that guy. And then my parents got me my Miller T94 for Christmas when I was still in school. And, my hair, that was when my hair first got long, too. So I friggin' tightened it so hard that my eyebrows would pull up like this, and then I started getting a dent in my forehead. I got a TikTok video on the dent in my forehead. It won't go away.
Oh, man.
It doesn't matter what I do.
So you're a business owner at 23. You're making it on your own, self-employed, whatever you want to call it. What are some of the hardships you've faced throughout your career? What are some of the biggest struggles that you've had running your own gig?
I would say the biggest is, I mean, honestly, it's stress. It's just stress is what it comes down to.
Amen.
Because when you own your own business, nothing is promised. You don't have that guaranteed money coming next week anymore. You don't have that at all. So that's been really the biggest thing for me. And I mean, there's been times like I do really good for a few months, then you hit those low months, and it really like takes a toll on you. And then you start thinking, oh man, I wish I had that security again. Like you want to step out and go get a secure job just so you have that. Um, but
Yes.
you just you gotta hold on, dude. You just gotta hold on and work through it. Do whatever you can to get by and just stay in it. Because I mean, it's proved me time and time again. Like I've wanted to back out of this and go do something else, and I've stuck with it. And then that next month, I mean, I'm getting crazy amount of jobs, people calling in. Like it always works itself out, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're getting into the same boat I'm in. You know, you're self-employed, and I heard you recently got engaged as well. So you're getting married, right?
In a
A
week,
big congratulations. In a week, you're
in a
getting
week,
married.
yes, sir.
Really?
Oh my goodness.
Dude,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
getting married. I'm getting married June 22nd, so I'm not far behind you.
there you go. Oh yeah,
Yeah, so I think
it's
you can
definitely
relate to
this.
the. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, this week's gonna be stressful. It's gonna be a stressful week.
I'll pray for you then, but I think you can
Oh yeah, I
definitely
appreciate it.
understand where I'm coming from. Getting married and starting, beginning a family, and you don't have a consistent, paycheck that you're guaranteed every week. You don't have a
Yep,
guaranteed 40 hours, and I'll tell you what, it's stressful being just a business owner in general. It's hard, so I definitely
100%.
feel you where you're coming
But
from. Of it's stressful.
oh yeah, the big thing though is no matter how much stress it is, I get to come home every night. There's some days where I mean, if I want to go somewhere for a week on a vacation, I don't have to ask anybody. I just go. I was able to go to that school. Dude, I had to go to the school at like 7 in the morning all the way till 12. I didn't have to ask my boss for
Yep.
the day off to go talk. I just went, dude, because you have all the freedom that's what I love is the freedom.
Absolutely. Like right now, I came back up to Nebraska to visit my fiance, and I'm with Bryn in his house right now doing this episode. And I didn't have to ask anybody. I didn't have to put in a request for time off. I did all my work ahead of time. I got everybody's hood shipped out, and now I'm up here hanging out with my friends and my fiance. So there's
Oh
definitely
yeah.
perks to it.
Don't forget about Andrew's freaking, I don't know, like 2 month North America World Tour.
Oh,
Canada,
come on.
DC, Mexico, Nebraska, Florida. Like straight, this guy was hitting.
Hey, Canada too. Don't forget I went up to
I said
Canada.
Canada first.
Golly.
Like
Yep.
freaking everywhere.
It's the perks of the job. You are stressed 99.9% of the time, and then there's 0.1% where everybody's like, well, you just go to vacation all the time or what? And it's like, well, fuck you,
Yeah.
man.
You know,
I've been stressing about this.
I'm checking this guy's
Definitely.
snap map like daily, and he's in a different country, like 3 countries: the U.S., Canada, and
Yeah.
Mexico.
And I didn't tell most people I was going down to Mexico, and one of my buddies, Wyatt, from up here in Nebraska, he sent me a screenshot of snap maps. He said, dude, what the fuck are you doing? It's like,
Oh
sorry, I forgot
yeah.
to turn my snap maps off. I'm running cocaine through the Florida Everglades. My bad.
Yeah.
You got a honeymoon destination picked out? Either of you?
Oh yes, I do. I was going to talk to you about that. So you're going to the Virgin Islands, I heard.
Yeah, in July.
That's where I'll be going.
Where,
That's what
when?
we're doing for the honeymoon. We haven't really picked out a date yet because she's in school right now.
Oh,
Yep.
So I got to figure out when she can go, but we're gonna go to. It's called Balongo Bay Beach Resort, I think, but it's super nice, dude. I was gonna talk to you about it because you might want to look into it. It's all inclusive, like everything, free drinks, free meals, everything, and it's pretty cheap, and like flights are included. I think you can get like out the door like four grand
Hmm.
for
What
everything.
island?
St. Thomas, I think.
Yeah, that's where we're going, because if you fly into the Virgin Islands, you can only fly into St. Thomas for like a reasonable price, and then if you want to fly to another island, you're gonna have to get into like a Cessna or something to fly to one of the
No
other
way.
islands. Yeah, and we
Oh,
got
wow.
8 people going, so we can't be doing that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I'm in the same boat as you. We're gonna do our honeymoon in Cancun, but she's still in school and she can't miss that. So we're gonna probably do it in December, whenever it's cooler down there, and when she's on break from classes.
Dude, looked at, because that's what our plan was too, is December. I looked at December, more expensive.
Really,
It's more expensive in December than it is next month.
interesting.
Crazy.
That is crazy because it's summertime here in the U.S. Figured they'd be sending people down there, but
Yeah, we looked into all-inclusive resorts, but like with 8 people, we just ended up getting an Airbnb.
I would say with 8 people, yeah, that's if it's just because it'll be me and my wife when we go. Yeah, it's probably a lot easier to do with 2 people than having a crowd.
Right, but this Airbnb is cool. Like it's a company that owns it. They own a ton of Airbnbs and rentals and stuff and apartments down there. So they're like, let us know whatever you want and we'll do it. So like we got a chef coming as soon as we land to cook us that
Oh,
meal while
wow.
we relax, and then the last dinner before we leave, and then I'm going deep sea fishing, so they lined everything up.
That's awesome.
Like, yeah, it's kind of
That's the one thing I miss about Houston, dude. I miss living in Houston because like I love saltwater fishing, but I live in Austin now, so I can't do it anymore without making a drive.
I've never fished in the ocean.
No way, dude.
Dude,
Well,
I grew up doing it.
Think about where I'm at. I'm dead center of the U.S.
I don't know how you do it, man. I'd have died. I'd have died long ago.
Oh,
I
no.
need me. I gotta fish saltwater.
I don't like the ocean.
It's a whole different experience, dude. If you like fishing, you're gonna love. You're not gonna want to fish.
I promise you.
Fish it.
Trying to pull a grouper off the seafloor is one of the best experiences of your life. Especially when that grouper kicks your ass, so then you get all mad about it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I can't wait.
So what are some people that you look up to, like mentors, your parents, whatever, and who are some people that you would like to give credit to where you're at right now?
I mean, really, like I had no welding background. Like I've only known how to weld for 3 years, basically. Like I'd never welded in my life. Like I didn't weld in high school. I didn't do anything like that. I did automotive. So I was doing that, and then welding wasn't even a thought in my mind. Like I went to college for marine biology. And I ended up dropping out, and I'm like, well, shit, what am I going to do with my life? I was like, I don't know what I want to do. And so, but I brought up welding to my fiance, like in our early stages of us being together, and she kind of like helped me out with it. And she pushed me 100. Like she is the reason I'm doing what I'm doing today, because she pushed me to do this. So she's a major help. And then my grandpa, he was a machinist, and as I was growing up, I watched him like weld in the garage, and he would weld like little stuff here and there, and I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. So that really is like what sparked it for me, is seeing him do it. But yeah, I'd say those 2 are like the main people that really helped me do this. And of course, there are some like employers. There's one guy I want to give a shout out to, dude, and I feel so bad. I feel so bad for this guy. So like when I was in welding school, I listened to Art Junkies, their podcast. Right. And there's one with a guy named, I think it's Marshall Whitney. I think that's his name. I can't remember, but he owns ROM Furniture down in Houston. And I messaged him from the podcast and talked to him. And I'm like, hey, can I come check out your shop? I just wanted to check it out. And I go in there, shows me around. He's like, okay, when do you want to start? And I'm like, whoa, I was not here for a job. Like I just wanted to look. And I was like, dude, but should I take it? And I took it. I didn't know what square was. I didn't know what level was. I didn't know how to read a tape measure. I built everything wrong for this guy. The entirety of me working for him, I promise you, I did nothing right. And I probably cost him a lot of money. So shout out to him for teaching me a lot. But I feel really bad for what I did to him. I want to reach back out to him soon and just kind of like apologize for what I did back then, and kind of see if we can fix that up a little bit. But yeah, he was a big help, really big help.
But since you're wearing the Edge Welding Cups shirt, I have that same shirt. I like it.
I love the shirt, dude.
Do you run their cups pretty often?
Dude, I don't have a TIG machine.
I thought you had a prime weld.
No, I did. I don't have it anymore. I got rid of it because I was getting to
Oh
a point
man,
like with the stuff that I do, like, and I operate like out of my home, like in my garage.
yeah.
I have very limited room, and the only welding I do is stick and MIG welding. So I ran out of I had no TIG jobs ever. So I'm like I can't have this taking up room. So I ended up getting rid of it. And that's the thing is I got all of their stuff as soon as I got rid of it. So I don't have a TIG machine
Oh
right
man,
now to even do it. But that's the thing, like now that I'm building this go-kart, like I wish I could have tigged out the whole entire go-kart. It would have been so much better.
yeah.
But yeah, I want to get one I want to get one again. Definitely now that I do have like more free time now. I've kind of gotten better at like scheduling things so I can do like some of my own projects for like just on social media and stuff like that.
Everlast
But I have
notification
them.
foot pedal upgrade.
I was about to say, I know a guy who can get you an Everlast
Yeah,
discount.
definitely.
No, how
No, it's
how is your Everlast Cyclone 200 ES going for you?
Dude, I love it. I mean, I think it was like $600. I mean that machine has ran this company. I mean, I can't tell you how much money I've made off that small machine. I mean, it's a
that's
no-brainer.
awesome.
It's 100%. Like that machine will do enough. I've ran it, like beat the crap out of it for like a year and a half now. I mean, I'd say probably, yeah, like a year and a half. But I mean, it's going strong. And actually, so I upgraded to the 15-foot whip, and I was having some issues with it the other day. So I called Everlast and I spoke to Jesse, and we're trying to like troubleshoot what's going on with it. Tell me why I've been running that machine with 035 wire with a 030 roller in it for the entire time of me having it, and it worked. And it worked the entire time, and I had no clue.
Dude, I still do that.
I still do that
Dude,
too.
but
Yep,
that's the
forget to
thing
change
is
it out.
when I upgraded to that 15-foot whip, it didn't have it was too like it didn't the 030 couldn't push the
Yeah,
wire,
it couldn't
so
push
it was
it. Yeah, it was
spattering and
too much.
popping.
Yeah, it was dragging too
But it was
much.
crazy to me. I ran it like that for a year with the wrong roller in it. Never knew.
That's funny.
What'd you think about talking to Jesse?
Dude, amazing guy. Amazing guy.
Right.
It was awesome, dude. We talked about and we like troubleshooted the machine, and then we stayed on the phone for like an hour, like after the fact.
Yeah.
Like we were just talking and stuff. But no,
That's how the podcast went with him. It was like an hour and a half long podcast, and then by the time we ended, like it was like 3 p.m. and we started at
Really?
12:30. Just like
Yeah,
this
we
one.
talked for a long time.
oh wow,
Yeah. Friggin' amazing.
that's the best way to
guy.
do it,
Hey,
though, dude.
are you going to FabTech this year?
Dude, I want to so bad.
Oh,
I just don't
well,
know. Like,
that'd be close to your
should I go?
honeymoon time.
Dude. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I mean, yeah.
If it works, absolutely. But that's really close to your honeymoon time as well. It's in
Yeah.
October, so
When is
I
it?
mean, well,
No, dude, I'm doing
Oh,
I'm
wait,
doing my
yeah.
honeymoon in a month,
Andrew said
like
the
soon.
same.
So
Yeah.
I'll be free.
yeah.
I'll be
Dude,
free to
it's
go.
in
I've just been like debating because I want to go. I wanted to go to the last one, but me and my fiance wanted to take a trip, and I'm like, dude, should I just put the money? So we took it like a 7-day cruise. We did that instead of FabTech, and I was like, okay, well, I want to go this year, but at the same time, like I wanted to make myself like more of a presence on social media before I go, like so people will actually like I could do something there with that. So I'm
Dude.
kind of just like waiting on that really, but I think going there
So-
will help me.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So me and Andrew go right in Atlanta. He's 20 or
20.
Well,
Yeah, 20.
I
I was
was-
still 20.
I
I'm
think
pretty
I
sure.
was- Shoot, I might have been 18. I just turned 18. That's right. Before that, and we're in Atlanta, and we don't know what's going on. We don't like. I'm introducing Andrew to all these people because I thought I knew a lot of people. But when you get there, you're like, oh, that's such and such. That's such and such. Like you know their usernames on like Instagram and stuff,
Yeah.
but you don't know their faces in person.
That's what I'm awful about. I'm like, who is that? Who? And I got to look them up, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's who that is.
And then Bob Moffat walks up and just starts talking to you, and you never met him, but he's just talking to you.
It's like, what the hell?
Like it's
Oh wow,
it's the craziest thing ever. Like FabTech is amazing.
dude,
for
that
networking.
guy,
Who, Bob?
dude, Bob Moffat, dude, he helped me through welding school. I cannot.
He's a
I
really
cannot
cool
tell
guy.
you, Dude, I cannot tell you how many times I went and watched his videos while I was in school to try to figure something out. He was an amazing
Right?
dude.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like it was an insane feeling to have him on the podcast. And
Oh
one
yeah,
thing
I
about
believe it.
Bob is he will not be the one to end the conversation. So I'm like, I call him like, Bob, we still good for 9:30 a.m. tomorrow? And he, yeah, well, this damn car wash the other day, just something completely random. But like, Bob's such a good guy, and so like you can't hang up on a guy like Bob. You know what I
Oh
mean?
no,
So then, I
definitely.
mean, 3 hours later, I'm on my roof trying to set up my cameras, and he's I'm still on the phone with him. It was insane having him on the podcast. Like
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know what, but
I listened to
that's
the
the
whole.
kind
I
of stuff
listened to
that
the whole thing the other day.
good. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir.
That's like one of the things about FabTech is just, dude, it's like Disneyland. Magic happens, you know, for a
Oh yeah.
welder.
I want to go, dude.
That,
I've seen the videos and everything, and I really do want to go. I kind of wanted to wait till it was like a better place. I wasn't. I don't know, because the other one it was at Chicago, right? The other one that I was supposed to
so
go to.
yeah, so Chicago was 50 times better than Atlanta. Like,
No way, really?
yeah, Atlanta is horrible. We just talked about that on the last pod with friggin' Johnny Snyder and Dr. Wells. We both talked to them. We talked to both of them about how much we did not like Atlanta. But like the venue itself was good for Atlanta, I guess. But Chicago was just it doesn't feel like such a huge city. And there's a lot more to do, like the Navy Pier, and we went on a speedboat tour on the Lake Michigan at night so we could see the whole skyline and stuff, like Ferris wheel. As long as you stay in the right part of Chicago, you're good. Like at any hotel.
That's kind of where I was at with it, dude. I was like, I just don't know if I want to go. I have no like aspiration to go here.
Well, I stayed in an Airbnb with James from SSP Weld and Johnny Snyder, Johnny S. Weld. And our Airbnb, that was for the first like 4 nights I stayed there. And then I went to a hotel because they had already left and I'm not old enough to get an Airbnb. So when I left there, I went into the city. But where we were with the Airbnb, I thought I was going to get robbed on the way to McDonald's next door every
Really?
day. Yeah, but we just stayed out of everything. The first night I heard gunshots and I was sleeping in the living room by the windows and I was like, oh shit. But
Well, I mean,
yeah.
growing up in Houston, you hear the same thing. So I think I'd have been pretty good.
Chicago was cool though. I would go to Chicago, but this year's in Orlando, so I got big hopes for it.
I do want to go. I think I'm going to try to make it happen. It just depends on the honeymoon, I guess, because we don't have a set date just yet. But I do want to go for sure. At some point, I do want to go.
Yeah, next year. Well, so this year is Orlando. Next year is closer to you. It's Las Vegas. I think that's probably closer. And
I've got no
never been
clue.
to Vegas,
I don't do
so-
much traveling. Me either.
I've never been to Vegas, so I'm not.
That's the
sure
thing
what
is,
to
I
expect.
really want to go to. Because I've been to Florida. I want to go. I was thinking about waiting for the Vegas one because I've never been to Vegas and I want to. And I think that's like going there with all your boys. Like that would be.
Oh,
That's
gosh.
a fun trip.
That's a
fun trip.
mess, son. That's a mess.
That's what
I
I'm
might
saying.
miss FabTech, like the show itself. I love to gamble.
Yeah, you'll be in the freaking casino,
Yeah,
Bryn.
I drive. So Peyton, it's 18 to gamble in Oklahoma, right? And it's 21 in Kansas and Nebraska. So I drive once a month to Oklahoma to gamble.
No way, dude.
Yeah.
He's a fiend, dude. He's a fiend.
Hey, I'm up on the casino though. I've only been to one casino and the gas station at that casino because they got slots too. But I'm up. I requested a win-loss report for last year's tax season because I had. So I think I'm up on the casino $5,000. But yeah, that's probably.
I don't gamble.
Oh man,
Not at
Me
all.
neither. I'd rather waste my money on
Dude.
material stuff.
That's what I'm
Because I'm
saying.
all about wasting that money. Don't get me wrong.
Dude,
I'm all about.
I just
making
have no
more money
luck.
from it.
No,
I have
me
no
neither.
luck
Nope.
whatsoever.
I got good luck on like selling stuff or like projects coming together or like clutching up when I got to get something done fast. But when it comes to
Oh
gambling,
yeah.
no, my luck ends. My luck ends right there. We don't
Oh
do
I
yeah.
didn't think
Well,
I
that's the
had
thing.
good
Like
luck either.
when we go on the cruises, like because the cruises have all the casinos and everything. Like we'll go in. I give everything to my fiance. I don't touch anything because she's got pretty good luck. So
that.
I let her handle everything, and we can win some money that way.
I play poker, and the poker at the casino is different than normal poker. Like you're not playing against everybody else at the table. You're playing against the dealer, and they need like a pair of twos or better to qualify or something like that. So that's what I like to do, or blackjack. But I'm no good at blackjack. I listen to my buddy Aiden who plays by the book right next to me.
So I got a question. How long have you and your fiance been dating?
A little over 3 years
Okay,
since I met
yeah.
her. We met in college when I was going to Blinn. We met there,
I
and
gotcha.
so what happened? We had a freeze down here, and we had met, and then a week later the freeze happened. Her apartment was flooded. She had nowhere to live, and I'm like, "You can
Oh
come stay
man,
with me." And so she
Knight in
moved in,
shining
and
armor.
dude, she never left. She never left after that. And we've been together. We've been together ever since. We have never we
That's
have been to like we've been separated probably a total of 5 days. Our
oh,
entire relationship is what I'd say.
that's hilarious.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy how it happened.
That's funny.
did you proposed on a beach, right? Where was that?
That was in Costa Maya. I'm pretty sure. Costa Maya on my
Okay.
last birthday. I did it on my birthday, so I'd never forget the date.
That's a smart
pretty
man
smart.
right there.
In the last episode with Johnny Snyder, I do deep dives like how I asked you about your football in high school, and so I go back to 2009 on Johnny's, and I found out his wedding date, and I reminded him. I said, "Hey, your wedding anniversary is next month."
There you go. That football, so all those pictures from football, that was middle school.
Oh,
So if you
really?
look at them,
That's
like you can
crazy.
if you look back at the pictures, look at like how big I was compared to everybody else. That's what I'm saying. Like it was just my mass is what they used me for. But that was all middle school. When I got to high school, I didn't play any sports.
That's
I
why I
did any
Yeah.
said
sport.
high
I took
school because you were friggin' huge.
No, it was middle school. Like, look, you can once you see the pictures, you'll understand. But no, in high school, I did strictly automotive. I did automotive for 4 years because that was like coming out of high school, I was going to be a mechanic. Like that was what I planned on doing. And then at the very end, I'm like, nah, dude, I like the ocean. Let's go be a marine biologist. That didn't work out.
How long of a
Nope.
degree would that be?
I'm pretty sure it was 4 years, but it was like a stupid amount of math. I don't tell me why that happened. Why is there math in marine biology? I couldn't. As soon as I saw that, I was like, dude, I was in college for a good 2 weeks, and this was right during like when COVID happened. So I did it. I tried real hard for 2 weeks, and then the missing assignment showed up. More beer cans in the apartment, and it was downhill from there. Ended up not doing the college thing.
What kind of beer?
Oh, dude, I was drinking Busch Light back in college.
He's a country boy, man. That's for sure.
Oh
Me
yeah.
and, me and Andrew were making sandwiches in between these episodes, like I said, and I opened the fridge to grab the ham, and he's like, "Is that the Bush drawer?"
He's got just a drawer full of Busch Light. I was like, "Yep, that'll do
Oh
it."
Well, I stepped away from Busch for a while, and I got into like Coronas because I love micheladas, dude. Like I love micheladas. That's
Yeah.
like basically all because I don't drink often, but I'll drink those and then I bought because they had the tackle box, the Busch like 24 pack that was the tackle box, and I saw it and I was like, dude, I gotta buy it. I was like, I gotta have a Busch can with fish on it. So I bought that, and then we started drinking Busch, and I like got back into it like as of recent. So I've got like a whole fridge full of Busch Light in the garage now because we finally made our way back to the Busch.
That's funny.
Well, we got about an hour of good footage. Here's something we ask every guest before we end it. What is your favorite genre of music to while you listen or while you work or weld?
I would say, dude, I like house music and EDM. That's some
Really?
shit.
Not
Oh
what I
yeah,
expected at all.
dude. No, like that's the thing is like, and that's on Sixth Street. Like I said, they have like house music clubs, and I want to go to those so bad. like really, really bad.
That's funny.
Yeah, my music taste does not really match at all.
Well, thank you for coming on, Mr. Sweet. Everlast link in the bio if you want the upgraded Nova TIG torch or foot pedal. Edge welding cups code BRINWELDS15 and through the link for 15% off all your edge welding cups. And I'm not sure if this video is coming out before or after Memorial Day, but we got a huge Memorial Day sale coming out. And Mr. Andrew.
And you can go check out southernleatherworks.net for all your custom welding hood needs and custom belts and other leather products. Let me get you hooked up today. Thank you, Mr. Peyton Sweet, for coming on to this podcast. We really appreciate you taking the time, and we look forward to talking again with you soon.
And all of
yes, sir. Thank you.
Peyton Sweet's social medias will be in the description as well, and his website and Etsy. Thank you.